So yes, I'm already back. Sorry for the sun glaring into my eyes. My sink is right near a big window, which is lovely for watching the kids, but not so great for recording this. But have you ever seen those reality TV shows where they have the kind of after show or the after party, and it's nothing of consequence, but sometimes it's quite enjoyable to watch and see a little bit more about the lives of the people involved, you know, like the skating and the dancing and that kind of thing. So this is a little bit of an after show for the Washing Up Chronicles, or at least the last little while of them, because I've been off work for a few days and that gives me a little bit more time to reflect. And one of the things I've been reflecting on is the fact that my kids are a lot more visible now in the community. We've never been invisible. That idea of home ed kids being invisible, that I think a few years ago was out a little bit more because of something that was said, and that's ridiculous. It's a load of rubbish. We know we're not invisible. In fact, we're likely more visible because our kids are out during the day with us, that they come along to everything. Like, if my kids were in school, of course I would be arranging my doctor's appointments while they weren't there. But now I bring them along with me. There is no privacy at all. And yeah, the invisibility, not a thing. But my kids are definitely becoming more visible. They're getting older, so we've had the question at least like 5 times in the last week or so, saying like, why aren't you in school? Or are you off school today, kids? And it's not like, there's no negativity really. There's either confusion or support. I haven't had the negativity yet, but we're noticed a lot more. They're physically taking up more space, and there's something endearingly quirky about home ed kids. We don't always follow the norm. The kids aren't used to some of the kind of societal conventions because they've never had to like line up, and you ask a group of home ed kids to line up and it's like herding cats. It just, yeah. So I feel like we maybe are a little bit more noticeable than the average family going through the town centre during the week. So most of the noticing is really positive. Like, for example, when we're in shop sometimes, I'll have my daughter go up with the things and go through the whole process of paying for it and the change and so on. And I step back so that I can see her, but that she feels like she's doing it alone. And I always get positive interactions, and the cashiers are really supportive and in helping her do that. So those kind of interactions, lovely. A lot of the things we're involved in different communities, a lot of the adults interact really positively with us. The last weekend, I have had a couple of incidents where I'm really having to think through taking out home ed kids in public. Not that I wouldn't do it, but that I need to maybe have a little bit more awareness of that we do look and act differently sometimes. One I will talk about. I wasn't laughing when it happened. I was a little bit, I'll be honest. So we went into a shop to get some home ed supplies, and I was walking around that shop thinking, wow, my kids are so well behaved right now. They are so fantastic. There they are over in that corner, getting on with just like checking out some stuff for themselves. They're not loud, they're not running around. I can just go around this quiet shop. It's only small. I can hear them if I need to, and I'm going to get all the things that I need to. And this is a dream. They're getting older now. Like, I finally got that milestone where I can go in shops and not be like grabbing them all. We got out the shop. Everything was fine. They all got a lollipop each. We're outside on the bench taking the lollipop apart. I don't know why I always find those lollipop things really tricky to do, but it was taking us a while. And then the shopkeeper comes out and very seriously asks me to come back into the shop. So my mind's going through like, what? Like, have I won the 1,000th customer by the look in his face? Nope, I have not won that. There's something wrong that's happened. I have no idea what it is. And I go in and he gets a security footage in front of me and takes me through a lot of security footage whilst all of the other customers are milling around as well, and my kids are standing there very perplexed, to show me video evidence of my kids accidentally, they weren't doing this on purpose, and these toys are really badly made, breaking a lot of toys that had these squirrels that pop out the top. They weren't doing it on purpose, and well, in that they weren't doing it intentionally to break it. They thought that that's just what happened, and they weren't thinking at all. But there they are, squeezing these, popping the squirrel out. Oh, this is exciting, putting it back, and it's all there in front of me. And my kids are saying, oh, we didn't realise that was a problem. And the man's there telling me, well, it's all here on the screen. And I'm looking at these terrible toys, like they're really rubbish, but they cost £2 each. And there's like 7 or 8 of them there on the counter. So I'm trying to like calculate, how much is this going to cost me? Do I like admit some kind of fault and pay for it? I don't know what to do. And again, all the customers are behind me. And I had to, I didn't have to pay in the end. Whew. I got let off with a warning. I left my number because I wanted the kids to see that I was like willing to take responsibility, but I also wanted them to see that it's okay to stand up for yourself or to negotiate. So I gave them my number and said they can contact me if they do want me to pay. I'm not paying that today. So it was a big learning moment for my kids because they were quite stressed out about it, and I was a bit embarrassed, but I also kind of thought it was a bit funny how seriously it was taken. They were walking away and I'm having this big heart-to-heart with my kids, and we get halfway home, like 20 minutes walk, and I realised I left all of my shopping in that shop. So I had to go back, do a walk of shame into the shop and get all of my things, and then trudge again with my kids, working it all out with them again. And yeah, that and a couple of other situations have made me, like with someone we vaguely know kind of taught my kids off for playing with rocks outside, and I'm like, that's the point, they're outside because they want to play with rocks, they have a rock collection. And I think I've never really thought of myself as being particularly alternative or going against much of the mainstream, partly because I'm surrounded by people who are similar in their choices, I guess. But I'm starting to see, as my kids are getting older, that it's not that, oh, that's adorable, comes out a little bit less, and the, oh, that's annoying, might start to come out more from people who don't understand what we're doing, who don't understand some of the choices that we're making, who don't understand the purpose behind letting my kids play with big tires in the yard. I'm starting to realise that we are a lot more visible, and that isn't always acceptable to everybody. So I'm toying with a few thoughts now. This one I know might cause controversy. I'm not sure, my husband's American, so sometimes I forget which is which. Do I, on purpose, register? We are not known by the LEA just because they've never asked. And I'm toying with the idea of registering without them coming to me, because I do have this worry of maybe completely unfounded of like someone saying, what are those kids doing off school? I'm going to report them, and then having to do that under a stressful situation. I think that's maybe just like anxiety going ahead a little bit, but I'm toying with that. I'm also making sure that I'm a little bit more aware, and that while I might understand my children's capabilities, their independence, the things that they are wanting to do, and the risks that I am willing for them to take as they learn and grow, that other people might not understand that. So I think I do need to be more explicit with some relationships in the community to say, like, this is what I'm doing and this is a point and it's okay. And then I also need to have some like answers ready for people, because if I get frustrated or angry, and we also always get like, if it's against our kids, like that gets us a little bit more worked up, then like all of my logic goes out the window, and I can't form the best persuasive arguments. So I think I need to have some ways already of dealing with situations like that, and of making sure that my kids know that other people's opinions and other people's comments Still, like, it can impact and it can hurt us, but it doesn't have to have meaning. It doesn't have to make us change what we're doing. So yeah, I thought I would just share that because, I mean, it's one to remember, and I've never had that experience before, but also, yeah, it gave me a lot of food for thought. But I would love to know if you've ever had any. Please make me feel better by telling me any situations where your kids have unknowingly or knowingly put their foot in it in public, and then we've had to deal with the consequences of that. Please make me feel like I'm not alone. But yes, that was a little after show, and I'll see you at some point, maybe next month, for another Washing Up Chronicles. But take care and have a great week.